Electric vehicles are currently the most exciting sector in the market. You owe it to yourself to be educated on the best possible investments available. Here are, in my opinion, the 3 best choices to deliver outsized returns. DRIV, iDrive, and Hail. They are the runaway leaders in this sector and come with the fewest question marks. No wonky ETF structures, no questionable choices in the portfolio, just solidly built funds. DRIV and iDrive are pretty similar to each other, and Hail is different in one special way. You'll see shortly. Wouldn't it be nice if the viewer was like, cool, that's a good start. I'm gonna hit that like button. Let's start by looking at DRIV by Global X, ticker DRIV. DRIV is an AUM leader, and it's never a bad idea to buy into ETFs that hold the most investing dollars. It has vehicle manufacturers, EV component manufacturers, and firms that contribute to autonomous driving. Those are all positive correlations with what we're looking for. Its expense ratio is 68 basis points, which isn't cheap, but it's not the most expensive on our original list. The top 10 account for about 30% of the fund and include big-time semiconductor names, tech giants, and established automakers. The rest of the top 20 are even more familiar names: GM, NIO, Ford, Johnson Controls. Really, the top 20 of DRIV could be summed up as established businesses with strong and diverse revenue streams. Then, as you head toward the lower half of the holdings, you see Plug Power, Boom Energy, QuantumScape, basically lottery tickets in the EV space. DRIV feels to me like the correct balance of established and safe companies at the top with new and speculative plays at the bottom. This is great for investors who are uneasy about allocating too much capital to unproven companies. The flip side is that such heavy exposure to diversified mega tech companies means this is less of a pure play on electric vehicles. This same caveat is shared by both DRIV and iDrive. iDrive, ticker IDRV, is an iShares product and has the second largest AUM, 400 million bucks. If you've seen any of my other ETF videos, you know I love a good iShares product. iDrive has a very similar top 10 to Global X's ETF. We see Apple, Google, Toyota, along with a handful of other semiconductor firms. The rest of the top 20 has NIO and Ford, again, very similar to Global X ETF. iDrive comes with the second lowest expense ratio of the bunch, but here comes that mega cap caveat I mentioned a minute ago. I think both DRIV and iDrive are good funds that will generate positive returns, but who doesn't already have exposure to Google and Apple and Microsoft, be it holding them directly or through an S&P 500 index? Hopefully you already have exposure to semiconductors through an ETF like SOXQ or SMH. If this is true, then a position in DRIV and iDrive is redundant. So this begs the question, why are we buying into this sector again? Oh, that's right, electric vehicle and self-driving exposure. So let's stay focused on those. Enter the Hail ETF. If you want that broad approach to EVs but want to cut out the influence of mega caps and semis, Hail might be your winner. It's a State Street product, comes with the lowest expense ratio at 45 basis points, has 200 million in assets, and takes an equal weight approach with its holdings. Hail offers exposure to automakers, charging stations, and drone builders. Yes, semis are in here too, but the equal weight approach limits the ability of these mega cap monsters to steer the fund's performance. And State Street left Google and Apple out of the holdings altogether, so Hail, in general, feels like more of a pure play approach to EV and self-driving. Check out the recent performance of these 3 ETFs. Yes, Hail has lagged behind DRIV and iDrive on a 1-year basis, but in all honesty, DRIV and iDrive returns are probably being led by Apple, Microsoft, and Google. Those same names are part of why the S&P 500 is up 20% this year. The bottom line, all 3 of these funds are winners, but choosing the best one depends on how you want to tactically use it in your portfolio. Do you want mega cap tech stocks that are only sort of involved in EVs and self-driving as part of your ETF? That's the question you have to ask. Personally, I'd choose Hail for the pure play simplicity of it. I get all the upside of the transportation revolution without doubling down on mega cap plays that I already hold. After all, isn't that the purpose of wanting an ETF that covers this niche? To gain exposure to EV and self-driving firms. But look, nobody would fault an investor for buying iDrive or DRIV either. Ultimately, those two ETFs are better suited for a newer investor, somebody who should be protecting what they've been able to save and invest so far by investing in established companies with great balance sheets and diverse revenue streams. These are your Googles, your Apples, your Nvidias, and their inclusion in DRIV and iDrive make both of those ETFs good standalone investments. But for those that already have a broad, diversified portfolio, Hale provides pure play access to EVs and self-driving, and in my opinion, will likely outperform. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.